Hey everybody, this is Dustin. Is it?
A reseal, like it's that.
Okay. Hey everybody, this is Dustin, Nervy Specialist, and I'm here with Dave, and we're doing some touch-ups on an Arctic Fox. And so, whenever the coaches come in, we're always doing what we call free exterior eval. And so, Dave, you said you were doing what, a roof air conditioner service?
Well, the whole thing is insert molding. I finished.
Okay.
AC service, body seal, and eval.
Okay, so you haven't started the body reseal yet?
No.
Okay, because that's what I was just going to say is, hey, it needs some clearance lights. It needs a body reseal bad. I can see where water and stuff has been getting in here, and it's even cracked the fiberglass up here pretty bad too.
Here too.
Did it? Oh, yeah. So I see where it's cracked at there. Are we doing anything with that? Is Terry going to be doing any paint and body work to it?
I'll throw it on the eval.
Yeah.
For sure, you know what I mean?
And it looks like somebody's already painted it at one time because of the glossiness. And same thing over here on this side. You see how this whole side is all shiny? Over here. Either that or, well, maybe not. Maybe just the clear coat's just faded off. But here's a couple things too. So same thing, we're talking about the lights, right? Look at all the dirt and water that's been collecting in the bottom of those lights. And then you see how there's a rain gutter up there that's broke off, that's missing. So Dave, are you going to be doing rain gutters on it too?
That's going to be part of that. I'm going to throw that on the eval as well.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Because I noticed this side and the other side.
All four corners.
Yeah. And with those lights leaking as bad as they are with the stuff in it, if you're, I would either pop the cover off and clean the lights out and throw a little bit of silicone and put the cover back on it.
Yeah.
Or, hey, sir, you need to go ahead and purchase all new lights because the housing is what shrunk.
Sure.
That's allowed water to get back to it. I'm just saying it for, for the people that are watching. So if you have a light, folks, and you're seeing this video and you see, dirt and water getting in it, you can see how the base is turned like a cream or discolored. It used to be white. When those bases shrink up, the lens that is basically, popping onto that base that's going over it, it has shrunk up enough, and we're talking like thicknesses of like a couple pieces of paper, but it's lost its ability to clamp on and trap out the water to act like an umbrella. And so now it's allowing the water to go back behind it. So, and then same thing, with these jacks, there's a lot of movement going on here with these bolts. So all this putty that's worked itself out and pushed itself out, that's also an indicator of this thing just, moving around. So you might want to have these checked out to have them tightened up a little bit more. It could be from like hard movement on the truck, so basically you see how they're secured in place. It's pulling tension on those jacks when you're driving. So if you're driving and you're kind of being a little bit rough when you're going down the road, that's actually flexing this tube and making it just rattle just enough to work that sealant out where it can expand out to. Another thing I would do, again, if you're watching this, is I would replace the water heater clip. The plastic ones, those little tips in here, they always break off. And we've got a bunch of videos on those. I would definitely do a water heater screen door. Looks like the stove vent's broken. The other light up there is discolored as well. Decal damage or sticker damage. Nothing's been cleaned and sealed on this guy for quite a long time. So I'm glad to see that, he's here doing a body reseal. Again, look at all the putty. So what this tells you is this whole wall in the back is doing that number, and it's flexing, based off of how it's hanging. And the hangers are that's holding it off to the truck. So, if you can, take it a little bit easier. Just because this thing's sitting on here doesn't mean, hey, I'm going to go drive it all crazy and all that. Because if you do, you're going to snap screws off. You're going to break the hardware that holds it up to it, the mounts. You're going to cause damage to the jack. So look at how this jack is. There's very little stuff loose, and it's all secured compared to that other one, right? So, see how much that's moved out, and so that now it's created a void and a space behind it where it's not as tight as it was. And this thing must have been by the ocean at some time because all the casted material from the jacks, salt water or whatever's getting to it, causing it to corrode. And Dave's inside doing that air conditioner service. Yeah, same thing. The pot metal's gone bad from the salt water. Same thing with the rust. You can see all the rust. So whenever you see rust like this, same thing. You know, whether that just looks like it's coming from a washer, but there's a bunch of stuff on here that needs to be tightened up and resealed. I mean, it would take forever if somebody wanted to come in and say, hey, take off all the screws and all the hardware and do that. I mean, that's, you know, a lot of work. You can even see too around the window up here where the sealant and stuff's just cracking and coming loose. You know, see how it's just popping off, and a big old gap right there as well. And then again, we go back to that, the clearance light lenses, right? When those pop off like that, that's just your paddle tail, that base that's, you know, discolored and yellow. It's time for a whole new light, you know. And that what's cool about those is it's like a cross, and so it just twists, and that whole light and that piece pops out of it. You pop the new one in and you twist it back and it locks it. So you're not doing any wiring, you're just replacing those 2 screws and the base. You know, and he's had, like, I think there was an Arctic Fox there too at one time and it would come off. Furnace, I would do a furnace screen cover. I would do refrigerator screen covers, and it's in a slide. Again, you can see how bad all these moldings are. So that tells you that this flange, you know, is coming loose. Oh yeah, look how loose that guy is. Trying not to wiggle my phone, but that's loose. Hey Dave, when you go around on your body reseal, there's a lot of stuff that's loose, like the slide out flanges are loose on the forward side. So if you can, try to tighten them up best you can. If for some reason you need more time, you know, hey folks, sorry, get in the office and call them and tell them you need more time. That forward flange, I can wiggle it. It's completely loose. I mean, I know you haven't gone around and finished you'll do it as you do it, but you know, look how loose this guy is.
Yeah.
And then this guy is super loose too. So if you need more time to go ahead and replace screws or add additional screws, get with Sam to get the approval to have him do it, because it's not going to make any sense to silicone it and then it's going to come loose and break loose the next week. He's going to come back and say, well, how come you didn't tighten it? You know.
Also, I noticed the stove vent is broken.
Yeah, stove vent too. And I'm capturing a lot of this in the video, you know. I mean, like I said, again, nobody's going to want to pay us the time to remove every one of the screws that's rusted, replace them all. We go around and do, you know, a basic resecure of what we can, but we allow so much time based off of the size of these units, folks. And so when we're doing a body reseal, you know, sometimes they'll come in and they'll have regular, you know, sealant on them, they'll have silicone on them, they'll have different adhesive silicones on them, and sometimes it's just physically not possible. Sometimes it'll take you an hour just to scrape off one little 2 or 4 foot section. So we try to be super fair. These aren't something that's billed at a regular hourly rate, because if it was, nobody would ever have them done. And so it's kind of one of those jobs. It's like, I don't know what you want to call it. Hey, the pizza's on special, right? So it's like every single RV that's here needs a body reseal. And you can see that the water that's been getting in right here. See that lump right there? That's all water damage, and it's either coming from the molding, coming from the window, or it's coming from the track and absorbing back up through it. And I would assume it's probably coming from the track because, again, look at all the putty that's bled out on this guy. And I forgot what year this guy is. Let me see if I can find a year on it for you. And so again, if you're watching these videos, you know, we try to put these out there to help you. We also use them as updates. You know, later people come back and go, wow, why didn't you really tell me that I needed to do that? Well, you know, sometimes it's that rough phone call to say, hey, you need to do, you know, thousands and thousands of dollars worth of work, or it's going to get damaged and you're going to, sooner or later, you're going to need to go buy a new one. And let's see what year this guy is. The sticker's pretty shot. This is, I cannot tell. So I'll have to look at the work order, but you don't remember what year this one is, do you, Dave? No? But it's up there in age, so, but it's due for a lot of stuff. So, I mean, you know, and you said the roof was in pretty bad shape too?
Yeah, horrible. I mean, at the very least, it needs a roof reseal.
Okay, or a coating too?
All the sealants look like the Sahara Desert.
Yeah. So nobody's ever told him to clean and maintain them. You know, so when he's talking about the sealants are all dried out and cracked, you know, all of the sealants on anything that's out here on this lot, they all require maintenance, right? So when we say maintenance, you know, they're a self-leveling lap sealant, and doesn't matter the brand, Dicor, Alpha, Camco, Sika. I mean, there's 12 or 15 different versions of it, but all these sealants, you know, are subjected to the sun, hot and cold, dirt, dust, rain, bugs, pests, all kinds of crap eats it, hits it. Leaves damage it, dirt damages it, chemicals in the air damage it. Farmers out on the lands around us that spray chemicals for, you know, different reasons, those damage it. So it's kind of like you have to keep an eye on both the roof material as well as the roof sealants. The sealants have we'll say it's like a food grade oil in it. So when it gets hot, it's made that way for it to expand and contract and to flex and move. Well, when those sealants get hot, the sealants bleed out an oil. The oil attracts all that dust and dirt more. Then it causes it to shrink, dry, and crack. And so, and then, you know, think about too, like when they're building all these units, it's let's seal them quick, let's seal them thin, let's get them the heck out of here, because they're waiting for that stuff to cure and dry before they can move it or transport it. So any of the lap sealants, they require, you know, like let's say you were going to paint them, right? They require a full 30 days to 100% cure and dry. You know, depending on the temperature, of course, that could change dramatically. It could be 15 days, but they are soft to the touch. And I think, I don't remember, I posted different, in other areas, I've shared the actual cure times, you know, so much time before you can put out in the rain, before you have water on it, soft to the touch and all that. And it's a chemical reaction. So when you put these on all these roofs, there's solvents in that product that's having to etch itself and bond to that rubber surface. So when you see about what we call blistering or lifting or bubbling or off-gassing, there's a bunch of different terms people use. That's what that is, right? All right, well, I'll quit nagging. And, you know, wow. And that's been there forever like that. And again, all of this was behind this molding. So as this wall is moving or the whole coach is flexing, this is a separate piece from this floor. It was sitting here walking and forcing this stuff out. So this has been here forever. And when you see that, that's not good. You need to clean that off and reseal it, because you take a risk of getting water back there. You know, all the rust could have been, again, from the ocean or something like that. So, all right, everybody. Well, stay tuned for more. I'll come back and try to catch this as Dave gets more done with it. We'll do another follow-up video on it. But thanks so much for watching. And if you have a camper, we're here to help. If you have, of course, any other recreational vehicle, give us a holler. California Risk Specialist. We're based out of Lodi, California. Thanks again for watching. Bye-bye.